Namaste, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of 10 Minutes with Dr. Marc Halpern. That's me, and I'm honored that you've taken the time to watch this video and that we get to spend some time together. Today I'm going to talk about 3 subtle energies that are very important in Ayurveda and also very important in yoga. They're not talked about very often. I'm going to give you an introduction to the concept of Prana, Tejas, and Ojas. Now, these 3 subtle energies are very important because they really govern the functioning of your subtle body. We talk about the health of the physical body all the time, and we talk about the 3 doshas, vata and pitta and kapha. But we have a subtle body as well. The subtle body is an energetic body. You might call it the astral body. And so within that body, there are 72,000 channels that are talked about in yoga. And through those channels, life energy courses. That life energy is called prana. And how it moves through the subtle body determines how you think and how you feel. And so it's very important to begin to learn how to work with prana in order to return yourself to a state of balance, particularly within the mind. Now, the subtle energy of vata can be said to be prana. So vata and prana are closely related to each other, and they're both related to the element air. So vata governs the functions of the physical body, and prana is more active in the subtle body. In this context, I should mention, prana has many contexts, and you really do have to understand the context in which you're speaking about it. Vata is sometimes called prana, so we have to be careful. So when I'm talking about the physical body right now, I'm talking about the gross doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha. And in the subtle body, I'm talking about the subtle energies, prana, tejas, and ojas. Prana is related to vata. Now, the next energy is called tejas. And tejas means light. And you can think of tejas as the light that is given off by fire. So it's very closely related to the fire element. And as you might have guessed, if you've studied some Ayurveda, it's very closely related to the pitta dosha. So the pitta dosha governs the functioning of the physical body, and tejas is more active in the subtle body. Now, the third energy is called ojas. And ojas is the subtle form of kapha dosha. So kapha dosha is in the physical body, and in the subtle body, we have ojas. Now, these 3 energies, prana, tejas, and ojas, all interact with each other. And together, they determine how you think and how you feel. Now, when they're functioning well, you have optimum health and peace of mind. When they're not functioning well, your peace of mind is going to be disturbed, and so is your physical health. Now, prana gives you the will to live. It's what gets you excited about life. This is the experience of it in your subtle body, which you process through your mind. So when prana is healthy, you're excited about life. When tejas is healthy, you're inquisitive and you want to know the truth. And you have a very gentle but very sincere desire to know what is real and what is not real. And ojas is what gives you the capacity for contentment and for blissfulness. And so when these energies are all in their proper balance, you have a genuine excitement about life, you have a desire to know truth, and you have a deep sense of contentment within your mind. So obviously we want to keep these 3 energies in their proper balance. Now, these 3 energies, the goal is to actually return them to a state of equanimity, where all 3 of them are at the same level, so that they balance each other out. Now, this is very important, because otherwise, the disturbance in that state will define the disturbance within your mind. If you have more prana than you have tejas or ojas, that's a problem. If you have more tejas than you have prana or ojas, that's also a problem. And if you had more ojas than you had prana or tejas, it's another problem. And in fact, There's all different combinations and permutations because they match the way in which we think and feel. And we have so many different thoughts and so many different feelings. Fear, worry, nervousness, anxiety, anger, resentment, jealousy, attachment, sorrow, and grief can all be understood by the Ayurvedic doctor and the yoga therapist in terms of these three subtle energies. And then we learn how to restore them to a state of balance. Now, I talked about them going up and down in relationship to each other. Let's explore that a little bit more. If you have too much prana, you can be too excited about life. If you have too little prana, you can be depressed about life. Now you might say, too excited? That doesn't sound so bad. But it can actually create a challenge because it can make it difficult to sleep and it can make you have too much energy inside you where you feel nervous. That's why we have to have just the right amount. Too much tejas and you can become too intense about knowing truth, too critical. Too little tejas and you can become too gullible. Too much ojas and you can become complacent. You feel so good, why should I bother to grow and evolve? Right? I'm content the way things are. Too little ojas, you become too discontented. Now, to help you understand their relationship further, I'm going to use a prop. And here is a mug or a cup. And I want you to understand that these energies are all related to the channels of your body. So think of this cup as one of the 72,000 channels that prana flows through. The cup is filled with prana. It's also filled with the light of tejas. And they travel together through the cup. The walls of the cup are made up of ojas. It's what brings stability to the flow of energy in your body. Now, if the prana is too high, it dries out the walls of the cup and your ojas becomes low and you become discontented. If the tejas is too high, it'll burn out the ojas and also make the walls weaker and weaker. You become more and more discontent. If the prana or the tejas are too high, well, the walls become more and more fragile until eventually the cup breaks. And if that cup breaks, the prana just spills out all over the place. The tejas spills out all over the place. And essentially what happens is you lose your desire for life. You lose your desire to know truth. You've lost your contentment. And in the worst case scenario, that actually defines a psychotic state, a state where you can't even function in the world. And when people have a mental breakdown, that's what's happened. It means that the channels, the nadis, have broken apart. And now they have to go through a repair process. That's not easy, but it can be done in Ayurveda. This has been an introduction to understanding these three subtle energies, prana, tejas, and ojas. You've learned their relationship, to vata, to pitta, to kapha. You've learned that it's important to keep them all in their proper balance in order to maintain your health physically and, most importantly, mentally. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to hear more, let us know in your comments below. Let me know if you'd like to have a part 2 where we go deeper and explore how to return balance to prana, how to return balance to tejas, how to return balance to ojas. It's been an honor and a blessing for me to spend this time with each of you. Be well, be kind, be love. Namaste.